Tonight, we got Io Sky and Asuka going at it in a pay-per-view quality match on free television. What a goddamn treat. They stole the fucking show. But honestly, given the quality of the rest of the program around that particular match, that stealing of the show simply became petty theft. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Smackdown from Phoenix, or rather Glendale, Arizona. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. And also, shout out to Catwoman13 for explaining to me the difference between Phoenix and Glendale. I know they're two different cities, but I don't know jack shit about Arizona besides the state being hot, hot, hot. Okay, you are going to see less SmackDown reviews for the rest of the year. In fact, I may not review it at all after Survivor Series. I may just take the entire month of December off. I'm getting ever so close to totally limiting the amount of weekly reviews that I do. Because even though, yes, sometimes the numbers will be up, The Rock's return last week, that was a big goddamn deal. It was cool. The show felt energized. WWE has a formulaic way of presenting their weekly programming, even though there are some spikes and some surprising moments. And same with AEW, same with New Japan and their programming as far as their tours and their big events. Yes, there are certain things that are great, but I love wrestling. I've watched it since, the War to Sell the Score in 1985. I've had points where my fandom has gone from here to here. It's swung back and forth. I'm kind of burned out, guys. I'm kind of burned out. So I just want to warn you, in case you don't see some shows reviewed each week. I'm good. I'm just trying to do what I can for myself. So anyway, wapadoo, ba-ba-ba-ba. It's John Cena. He plays around with the what chance. He says he wants to compete, needs a tag partner. Here's AJ Styles. And then Jim Uso and Solo show up. We're getting a tease for a tag match later. Holy shit, Fastlane is coming up pretty goddamn soon, actually. But they're giving us this match on free television? You didn't say the magic word. Pierce tells Cena and Styles, I'll try to make it happen, but the bloodline has a sword of Damocles above my head. And then the Profits, along with Lashley in their corner, took on Rey and Santos with Zelina. This match got some time. I do like the Almighty Profits. It's a good trio. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad match. Rey and Santos, can they get along before they get it on next week? Yes, they can. They're part of the LWO. No turns. There could never be any turns. Nobody ever turns on Rey. That sounded less dirty in my head. Later, Lashley hits Rey on the apron, but Dawkins delays for all of 5 seconds, and that's enough time for Rey to get a roll-up 1, 2, 3. Apron bumps mean nothing. Recast of The Rock's return. Theory shows up all pissed off. I'd be pissed off too if I had the personality of Driftwood. And Isla Dawn and Alba Fire have placed a curse on the Women's Tag Team Championships. Honestly, it makes sense because there is an actual curse on the championships, and let's be perfectly honest, they look great, and it wouldn't hurt for them to win the tag titles back, and you could do something with them. You could do something. Since you have the titles, since you got to have so many goddamn championships, you might as well give them to a team that actually feels like a team. So anyway, we're getting a tag match between Waller and Theory and Peter Dune and Ridge Holland. Out of nowhere, a Cinderella story. What was with the wooden doors at the back of the arena or in the hallway? Anyway, so we get Lashley telling the Profits, win matches or you're going to sit in catering. I'll find somebody else. Package on Asuka and Io. Asuka makes her entrance. Charlotte enters just before the match starts. Hooray! Charlotte's involved in a program she doesn't need to be involved in. Once again. Asuka and Io, Women's Championship match. Go out of your way to see this. This was really goddamn good. Despite the fact they keep repeatedly inserting Charlotte in this whole goddamn thing. This is good. They hit hard. Io had a big old welt on her leg. Asuka was violently scissoring Io. Io was pounding and, grinding down on Asuka. And I lost my train of thought, but let's just get to the rest. Some good stuff. They gave him about 20 minutes. Even with commercials, they gave him some time. That's good. There were Io chants. There was some good action here. Later, Steve Patrick said a cracker of a match. Said by a cracker. There was a drop kick to the floor. Asuka took a great bump to the apron. Hit a kick that went into the post. Io hit a moonsault that missed Asuka by about 5 yards. But nevertheless, they went down. We went to break. Some good near falls, good submissions, and then later, Bayley manages to get Io's leg on the rope to stop a submission. Charlotte comes and clocks her. Doesn't clock Dakota because Dakota's still injured. And then knees to the back, moonsault, 1, 2, 3. So Charlotte's going to be involved in a 3-way. Hooray! Good match, though. Good match. Very good match. And then, so the tag match between Cena, Styles, Jim Uso, and Solo. He called himself Jim Uso last week, so he is Jim Uso forever. It's going to be at Fastlane. Yay! Solo then basically says, I'm going to spike everybody. Call Roman Reigns, says Paul. I'm sick of the bloodline stuff, I just want to say. The Brutes make their entrance at 6:15. Pretty Deadly then does one of the fakest, stupidest motherfucking segments I've seen, and Pretty Deadly is going to drive me away from this show. It's not that they're bad in the ring. I hate their comedy. I hate their presentation. I hate hearing them. I hate the fact that they exist on this program. Now, I know that they're going to end up being pushed, and that's fine. I just don't like them at all. I don't want them injured. I hope whichever one is injured, is recovering nicely. And Elimination Chamber will be in Australia in a giant stadium. And they expect people on the West Coast to wake up at 3 a.m. on a Saturday. Fuck you. I am not doing that. I will watch it later in the day, because I don't care. Peter, Dune, and Ridge took on Waller and Theory. Theory is talented in the ring, but bland. Horribly bland, and Waller does Theory better than Theory does. And Ridge showed off his power. Theory pinned Ridge. The match was fine, but I wasn't given a reason to care. Next week, Rey and Santos for the United States Championship, Charlotte and Bayley, and the Grayson Waller effect with Lashley. By the way, 3 matches on a 2-hour show. Yes, Io and Asuka got 20 minutes, but my God, please do something better. Cena enters, then Styles gets laid out by Solo and Jim Uso, and Solo splashes him with a conveniently, covered shot there, and that was one of the fakest goddamn things I have seen. Styles is being stretchered out and taken to a local medical facility for bruise ribs and anal bleeding. What? Wow. Solo then throws around furniture while the OC was infighting, because that's something. Gallows and Anderson have gotten checks for doing absolutely nothing, so credit to them. Paul Grayman, good goddamn Christ, he stopped dyeing his hair. He tries talking. Jim Uso takes the mic, says some stuff. Cena shows up. I say cue Cody. No, Cena attacks, but then gets laid out with a spike, with a splash. They kept cutting to black, so I think the crowd was swearing pretty goddamn mightily. And I'm guessing either LA Knight, or Cody teams up with Cena. And they take Styles out for no goddamn reason. Okay, that is it for Smackdown. That's all you're going to get. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.